Hello. Today, I'd like to share with you some really fun ways to learn Black history. It's going to be good for children and even adults. All right, we're going to learn some games that will involve some physical activities. We're going to learn some arts and crafts. I'm going to show you some playing cards, some board games, and even some interactive websites. So let's get started. The first game is sort of like a relay race, and I'm calling it the Madam C.J. Walker Relay. Now, we know that Madam C.J. Walker was the first African American millionaire. And we also know that she made hair care products. Well, these are the materials that you're going to actually need for your relay race. You're going to need some brushes, some combs, travel size shampoos, conditioner, any kind of hair ornaments, two buckets, or hula hoops. And actually, it depends on how many groups. If you have two groups, you only need two buckets. If you have three groups, you need three, so on and so forth. Okay, so what do? Well, first, divide your teams up evenly and teams will line up behind their bucket. Each player will race to the end of the designated area and pick up one hair care product. They will then run back to their bucket or their hula hoop and drop it in, and then the next person will do the same thing until everyone has gone and the group that finishes first actually wins. It's so much fun, but it lets them sort of remember who exactly Madam C.J. Walker was. Our next game is called the Real McCoy. Now we know that Mr. McCoy actually invented the ironing board, and also he made lots of things. He was an engineer, and one of the things he also did is invented a way to lubricate steam engines. So what are you going to need for this game? Well, you're going to need three oversized shirts and three big books or something that you can kind of roll something with. If you have rolling pins, that would work as well. So again, it's sort of like a relay race. Here are the directions. Divide the children or adults up into even groups. The first child from each group will hold a shirt, and then they're going to run to the other end. Then they're going to pretend to iron the shirt with simply four broad strokes, sort of like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then they're going to actually put the shirt on. That's why it should be oversized. And then they're going to run back to their team, take the shirt off, and give it to the next person. They'll do the same thing until everybody in their group is gone, and whichever group finishes first wins. Our third game is called the Garrett's Light game. Now, this is sort of a version of red light, green light. Okay. However, we know that Garrett Morgan actually invented the stoplight. So this is how you play. You're going to choose someone to actually be. I'm sorry. You're going to choose someone to actually be Garrett. You're going to place the children in a horizontal line facing Garrett. And then Garrett will close his or her eyes and yell, green light. And then all the children should take off. And then Garrett will open his eyes. And then that's when the children should stop. If somebody doesn't stop, if they're still moving, then Garrett can say, you need to stand on the sidelines. And then you just keep on playing. And the last person standing is the winner. These are really, really fun games. Again, you can play them with your students, your children. Teachers, of course, can play with their students, and adults can play it as well. All right, let's move on to arts and crafts. I just picked out a couple of arts and crafts that you might want to make. The first one is simply a little spaceship. We know that Dr. Mae Jemison was the first African American woman to travel into space. And so this is a really, really nice arts and craft that you can do. And what you'll need is some construction paper, some glue, some little stars, and of course you'll need some scissors as well. Now, what you need to do simply is cut out 3 triangles, 2 diamonds, have your little stars, and just glue them onto a piece of construction paper. And on the square in the middle, you're going to try to draw a picture of Dr. Mae Jemison. And all the while that you're actually constructing this, just kind of talk about what you think she would have had to go through because of the fact that she was the first African American woman to fly into space. Our next arts and craft will be something that I'm calling the Garrett Morgan Light. Now, this is a sort of a yummy arts and craft. So what you have to do is simply grab some graham crackers, some peanut butter or Nutella, and some jelly beans. I know that's a strange combination, but doesn't it look nice? So all you have to do is break up your little graham crackers, spread on your Nutella or your peanut butter, and then put your jelly beans down. Of course, you want to put green, yellow, and red, or maybe that's red, yellow, and green. Nonetheless, it's really, really fun. And again, you want to talk a little bit about Garrett Morgan and maybe some of the other inventions. And if you don't have any idea of what else he invented, I have some more videos on my channel. You can check them out and you'll see lots of things that Garrett Morgan actually invented. All right, next thing I want to talk about is just some card games. Here, right here are a set of card games. They're called Urban Intellectuals, and I actually have a few sets of these. You can simply go on to Amazon, I believe it is. They're $18.99 right now, and you can go ahead and get them. And I just want to show you a picture of them. These are some of the ones that I have here. These are what the pictures look like. They're great pictures. And then when you turn them over on the back, it gives all sorts of information about the famous African American. You can take these cards, you can deal them out, and just turn them over and read about the person. You can hide them throughout the house. Have your child, find them, remember something about the person, and maybe you can give them a treat if they remember something. There are all sorts of ways that you can actually play with these cards. All right, next we're going to talk a little bit about interactive websites. Now, these websites are absolutely awesome, especially the last one. So let me talk about the first one. It's called African American Riddles, and I'm just going to go to it very quickly. This is it here. And here they just give you a riddle, and you have to guess who the famous African American is. And if you hover over the answer button, it'll pop up. If it doesn't, you can just scroll down to the bottom where it actually gives you the names. So if you are a parent and you're going to be giving your children these riddles, you might want to make sure that you know exactly who these people are or the people are. All right, the next one it's called Internet African American History Challenge. And I'm going to show you that one. This is really great. It's sort of like a trivia game, but it's online. It has level 1, level 2, and level 3. And I'll just click on level 1. And what it does is simply gives you some questions, and then it gives you some options, and you have to pick the answer. And then at the end, it'll tell you what you got right and what you got wrong. So it's really, really fun. You can use it as a contest. Maybe after you eat dinner, the family can sit down and play this. The last one is actually my favorite one. It's called Flowcabulary. This is great, mostly for children and students, but parents, you can learn a lot too. So if you go to flowcabulary.com, there is a 30-day free membership. And then after that, right now, it's $10 a month. So when you go on here, there's all sorts of things that you can find. There's information about math, science, and it's not just about the Black experience. It's just across the board. However, since we're talking about learning about Black history, there is a section here. And if you go to, and I think I went to life skills before, and if you click on that, there are all sorts of videos that are really, really fun that you are able to play. And if you go down here, I really, really like this one. There's one here about respect. There's one here about what is race. And I'll just kind of click on it and see if I can play a little bit for you. But they're usually like hip hop videos, and we know students love those, and we do too, right?
I bet you noticed that there's all kinds of different people everywhere. Let's explore those differences.
Yeah. When I was just a kid, I was really confused. Sometimes I kind of felt like I was breaking the rules. Cause many of the kids who looked how I didn't really live the way that I live. We both had brown skin and our hair, it felt the same. But when we were at home, we were into different things.
Okay, so that's vocabulary. Again, I'm a teacher of 17 years and I use it in my classroom with my students. There are all sorts of things on there that you might find interesting. All right. And then the last thing I just want to go over very quickly, there are several board games out there that you might want to buy to play as a family, or if you get a group of kids together, they can play it. You can play it at your cookouts this summer. Hopefully we'll be able to do that, all come together. The first board game is called Black Heritage Trivia Game. You can just go onto eBay. It costs $24.99. And then, and this game is really, really great. It has lots of different famous African Americans, and you know how board games are. It has little pieces, has the cards. You move around the board, and then there's a winner based on the rules. Another game is called Black Americans of Achievement Game, and that one's $24. And again, you can get this particular game on eBay. Same premise as a lot of famous African Americans, and so, a board game. So there you have it. I hope that this was informative for you. Please use some of these suggestions and go out and learn your Black history. Thank you. See you next time.